And we welcome you on a Tuesday night, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And the roof is wide open. It's turned out to be a beautiful night for baseball tonight. Getting set for the Reds and the Brewers. Game 2 of this 3-game series. Brewers winning last night. Ryan Braun was activated off the disabled list last night. Did not play. He is in the starting lineup tonight. And everybody's still talking about Carlos Gomez. Game-saving catch to preserve the win yesterday. And hi, everybody. We welcome you from Miller Park. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Brian Anderson. Great to have you with us. And before we look ahead, Tony Cingrani for the Reds today, Willie Peralta for the Brewers, we have to look back because the gift that keeps on giving, Carlos Gomez, a first-time All-Star, and we might be putting a gold glove on his hand at the end of the season.
Yeah, one of the best in the business. I'm not sure if Carlos would rather hit a home run or take one away. He's taken away 4 this year. Tremendous plays. It's something he works on very hard. And all of a sudden, this year, you have to consider Carlos Gomez in the discussion for the best center fielder in all of baseball. Everybody talks about Adam Jones with the Orioles. He's won a couple of gold gloves. Andrew McCutcheon with the Pirates, who was a gold glover last year, but he plays with reckless abandon. He's not afraid of the wall. He has great timing and leaping ability to take away home runs, and it's amazing to watch Carlos Gomez go gap to gap, the big arm, and last night saved the game for the Brewers. Joey Votto hitting that deep fly ball in the 9th inning with a man on base. Carlos jumps up, makes the catch, and the Brewers able to pick up a win. He has been an incredible story this year. Carlos Gomez just continues to get better.
And Gomez told us after the game it's the second time he's done that in his career, a game-saving catch. He did it while a member of the Minnesota Twins. Ryan Braun back in the starting lineup. We'll kick it out to the set. Craig Deshawn, Davey Nelson will talk about the impact that Braun will have now that he's back.
Miller Lite, it's not just a good time, it's Miller time. By Toyota, let's go places. And by AT&T U-Burst, check availability at 1-800-PICK-ATT. Rethink possible. Our Phantom Cam Super Slow-Mo on last night's hero, Carlos Gomez. That big game-saving catch to end the ball game last night. And the good news is tonight, the MVP of 2011 back in the fold, back in uniform, is Ryan Braun. And Davey missed a lot of time. 26 games he's been missing because of that right thumb injury. But needless to say, he may not be 100%, but the spark of him back in the lineup certainly is.
Well, that's right, because, at this time, Ryan Braun would be leading your team in home runs, RBIs, average. But the one thing, he's going to come back very refreshed and stronger, but it's just a matter of how his timing's going to be.
Ryan Braun, the first time he's ever been on the disabled list. He's missed 31 total games this season alone, including the last 26. You look at that compared to 2009, 10, 11, and 12, when he missed a total of 29 games. So having Ryan Braun back in there, having him out, was certainly a rarity. Having him back in, we'll see how he gets this team fired up. Game 2 against the Cincinnati Reds on the way. Dramatic win last night for Milwaukee. We'll see how they follow it up. First pitch is coming up next here on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Willie Peralta out on the hill. Ryan Braun back in the mix. Should be a good one tonight. Rock and BA, you got the call.
All right, Craig, thank you. And there is Ryan Braun, and he's happy to be back. 31 games out of the lineup, exactly a month for Braun. Activated yesterday, his first game action here tonight in support of Willie Peralta. There you see Dusty Baker took his ball club to the postseason last year, second trip to the playoffs for the Reds. A division title last season. Cincinnati coming into play today in third place in the Central Division. 50 wins, 39 losses. Piggly Wiggly batting order for Dusty Baker. Shin Soo Choo will lead off, then Zach Cozart. Joey Votto hits third, an all-star starter, as is Brandon Phillips in the cleanup spot. Jay Bruce and Chris Heisey round out the middle of the order. Jack Hanahan gets to start at third base. Ryan Hanigan with an injured hand is back in the starting lineup. And Tony Cingrani, 24-year-old left-hander, on the mound against a 24-year-old right-hander, Willie Peralta.
Yeah, making start 19. Willie's got 14 decisions in his first 18 starts, a .527 earned run average. Two of his last three outings have been very good against the Braves and the Nationals. Did not allow a run in combined in those two starts, 12 and a third. The Menards Brewers defense. Ryan Braun back in the lineup. Everybody happy about Brawny back in left field, and Logan Schaefer, a late addition to the lineup. Nori Aoki scratched about a half an hour ago, so it'll be Schaefer and right.
And that was a left elbow injury for Nori Aoki, and a late scratch that put Schaefer back in the starting lineup. Phantom Cam is back with us tonight, giving you some great looks, and you see the mechanics, the physiology of Willie Peralta. And we want to say happy birthday to our Phantom Cam operator, Dan Gibbons. Gibbons celebrating a Phantom birthday today. Great images yesterday with Phantom Cam. Four-man umpiring crew in place. Tim Welke is the crew chief. He's calling the balls and strikes. Mike Everett, Quinn Wilcott, and Dan Bellino on the bases. Stage is all set. We're ready for baseball tonight. Turned out to be a great night for the game. Roof is open. Clear skies up above, and Peralta ready to work. First pitch is in there for strike one at 94 miles an hour. Coming out of the bullpen hot is Peralta.
Yeah, coming off a great start. Unfortunately, it was shortened by a hamstring strain, and he got into the sixth inning. Only allowed 3 runs against the Nats in Washington, and doing pretty much what he's doing right now. His first 2 pitches, just pounding the strike zone.
So Peralta pushed back a couple of days. He felt like he was good enough to go Sunday, but the Brewers wanted to be cautious with him, and that's why he gets this start today, 2 days after his scheduled start. And you start to talk about hamstring injuries. It was a very hot day in Washington, D.C., and Peralta had 5+ shutout innings going against the Nationals. Did not want to come out of the game, but had to, as Chu turns that one around for a base hit. First breaking ball of the day for Willie Peralta, and Shin-Soo Choo singles to start it for the Reds.
Yeah, slider's supposed to be down and in, and one of those back leg or back foot sliders to a left-hander. That one hung up in the strike zone, and Chu able to hit it hard into center field.
Well, Chu's been a great addition to this Reds batting order. Second in the league in on-base percentage, and he's doing all of that from the leadoff spot in the order. Zach Cozart takes strike one. But Peralta has a good fastball going already.
Yeah, already hitting 96. The velocity is secondary. It's the movement that Willie needs to get to be effective. On top of that fastball, try to get the downward action on it as it gets to home plate.
Chu has 9 stolen bases this year, if you're wondering. He's been caught a lot. 8 times he's been caught this season. Cozart bounces one off his foot.
Yeah, Red's not a big running ball club. Only 26 stolen bases. They've been caught 20 times. They have a lot of power. They can hit, but they don't run much.
Cincinnati in a little bit of a slump. Lost 2 out of 3 to the Mariners, losing last night. Well, we got a great break with the weather. It rained most of the afternoon here in Milwaukee. Some heavy showers just west of town. Fastball high and tight, a ball and 2 strikes.
But the rains came in, cooled things off a bit, cut down some of the humidity, and it's kind of nice out here tonight.
Yeah, just perfect conditions to watch a game. The best of both worlds with the roof open. Had to close the roof up yesterday for a brief time, and it really made it hot inside Miller Park. The ball was traveling well. Finished with the roof open last night as Cozart, little flare, Halton right to the bag, double play. Sean Halton with a dance number over at first base. Good feet, and he ends up making the catch and stepping on the bag for a double play.
Yeah, just one step too much for Chu over at first base. Watch him. And he gets back, but Halton right on the bag and gets the double play.
Halton's done a nice job defensively for the Brewers. He made a great play last night, robbing extra bases late in the game off the bat of Brandon Phillips. So 2 outs with 1 swing of the bat, and here is Votto. And all the talk about Carlos Gomez and the catch he made last night, Votto was on the other end of that, and how frustrating, disappointing, agonizing that has to be to go from the euphoria of giving your club a lead in the 9th inning, especially with the closer that the Reds have and Aroldis Chapman, that makes it almost an automatic win, and have it taken away.
And it took a while to determine whether Gomez had it in his glove.
Votto to the opposite field. Braun going back, and Braun will run it down. Underestimated part of his game. Outstanding defender. Braun hauls it in. Couple of nice plays, and Willie Peralta, even in slow-mo, as the Heat wrapped up tonight. Plays for Ron Renicky, who saw his defense play much improved baseball last night, something he has been a stickler for. Lineup changed a bit right before we hit the air tonight. Aoki out, Ricky Weeks inserted into the leadoff spot. He's followed by Segura, then Braun, Gomez, Halden, and Betancourt in the middle, with Maldonado, Schaefer, and Peralta rounding out the Piggly Wiggly Brewers batting order.
And Tony Cingrani's bounced around between the minor leagues and the big leagues and the rotation and in the bullpen. He's taken over the rotation spot of Johnny Cueto, who went back on the disabled list a couple of starts ago. Second time since he's been back in the rotation. Last win for Cingrani came on June 11th against the Cubs. And the Reds Menards defense. Ryan Hannigan back behind home plate. He sat one out last night. Hannigan, outstanding defensive catcher. He's thrown out 47% of would-be base stealers this year. Can't run on him.
Reds have a couple of banged up catchers. Mesoraco, who caught last night, has been dealing with a sore back. And Ryan Hannigan has a sore hand. Able to play tonight. Was not able to catch last night. He was very disappointed about that because he caught Bailey's no-hitter, and then he wasn't available to catch Homer Bailey in the game after his no-hitter last night. Kyle Loesch picked up the win, beating Homer Bailey. Loesch improving to 5-6. Bailey dropping to 5-7.
And Bailey 1-7 lifetime against Milwaukee. Brewers have a knack for beating him. And another good start for Kyle Loesch last night.
And we're hoping to catch up with Kyle Loesch on our Brewers Live pregame tomorrow. Ricky Weeks had a good day yesterday. The Brewers scored 4 runs on 11 hits. Weeks had 2 of them, and he drove in 1. He was 2 for 3, had an RBI double, also drew a walk. Good night for Weeks, who had been slumping at the plate, and back in a spot he's very comfortable, in a spot that he would most prefer to hit in, the leadoff spot in the batting order.
And you certainly hope there's nothing seriously wrong with Nori Aoki. He's been so good in that leadoff spot. Batting average around 300. Great on base percentage, and a late scratch, some soreness in his left elbow. It's not his throwing arm, which is good news.
And you were down there at the cage. He tried to take batting practice, tried to get through it, but obviously unable to go tonight. And if he's not able to start, unlikely he'd be available off the bench as Weeks strikes out, and that's how the night begins for Tony Cingrani.
Yeah, Cingrani, one of those young kids that just comes up throwing fastballs. He's got a good one. He hides it pretty well. Fastball, he's going to throw a lot of fastballs. He'll throw a slider and a changeup once in a while. But hitters will tell you that it sneaks up on you, his fastball, because he hides it. Keeps it behind his back until the last second, and Ricky Weeks right underneath.
Here's Gene Segura now. Hitting .323 opening play today. Segura with 3 hits last night. He was 3 for 3 with a run batted in. Has 11 homers, 36 runs batted in. First time All-Star, and he has a chance to perhaps start at the All-Star game, depending on the health of Troy Tulowitzki, who is actually back in a minor league rehab scenario with the Rockies. Troy Tulowitzki went on record to say if he doesn't play for the Rockies before the All-Star game, he will not play in the All-Star game.
That makes sense.
If he does come back, and he's close, he's been out with a broken rib. If he's able to come back before the All-Star break, he might consider playing in the All-Star game, and not just for the honor of it, but to continue to get at-bats and
take BP,
take reps, because it's 4 days off if not.
That work out. And Gene Segura at 4th in the National League in batting. It's amazing to see what Yadier Molina has been able to do this year, leading the league in hitting behind home plate.
Molina is hitting .346. He's been nursing a sore knee lately, Yadier Molina. Segura takes one inside, ball 4. So he doesn't walk much, but on the day that Ryan Braun is back in the lineup hitting behind him, he draws a walk in the first.
And that's when you figure to get some good pitches to hit. Of course, Segura's been working the count pretty well and getting some good pitches to hit all season.
Braun getting a nice hand his first game back. First time he's ever been on the disabled list. 31 days on the DL. And he steps in there with Segura at first base and 1 gone here in the first. Totally changes the lineup when Braun is back in there. Even a Ryan Braun that is not 100%.
That changes the complexion of the lineup, and Brewers still waiting, and I guess they're never going to have it this year with Corey Hart out for the season. That lineup that Renicky had anticipated going into spring training. Not going to see it.
And Braun whips one to center field, a base hit. Segura on his way to third. Chu's got a great arm. The throw comes in. Safe is the call. Segura aggressive on the base paths. Ends up at third base. Ryan Braun's return, a single.
How's it possible? I mean, how do you take a month off? He's only been hitting for the last few days and hit a rope into center field his first pitch he sees. And Gene Segura got a great jump, good speed, head first into third base, and the Brewers in business. How about Ryan Braun? That guy's unbelievable. And just does get into third base.
What a great shot that was. Segura is in by a fingernail. Phantom cam giving you a look that no other camera can give. That was great work behind that camera too. So first and third with 1 out, and here is Carlos Gomez. Brewers trying to strike first. Brewers got a 2-run home run last night in the first inning from Jonathan Lucroy, and they never looked back after that.
A lot of guys, after spending a month on the DL, no rehab, might think about taking a few pitches just to see the baseball, but not Ryan Braun.
Gomez took the collar last night, 0 for 4, but it didn't matter. rarely is a defensive play good enough to be the player of the game moment, but it was last night for Carlos Gomez. I like the moniker, a walk-off catch. Dramatic style and a big swing, and it's 0-2 on Gomez.
He just continues to do it time and time again. We've caught 4 of them, this year alone. 2 of them in a week. It's an incredible athlete is Carlos Gomez. He can beat you in so many different ways.
Now, no other play in the big leagues has taken more than 2 home runs away at the outfield wall, and Gomez strikes out. Big strikeout for Cingrani, and Gomez unable to advance either runner. 2 outs now.
And that's what Cingrani is going to try and do. He's going to get you to chase the high fastball. He throws a lot of them, doesn't move much, but he just kept climbing the ladder on Gomez, and Carlos just kept chasing him a little bit higher each time.
Cingrani is from the Midwest, just south of Chicago in the Joliet area. As Sean Halton fouls it back. Halton getting a lot of playing time lately. He's back in there at first base tonight. 7 for 29 at the plate is Halton. Does have an RBI. His first run through the big leagues. Got his first hit in the major leagues against Matt Garza of the Cubs on the last homestand. Cingrani is from New Lenox, Illinois. Played his college ball at Rice and drafted in 2011, but a polished college pitcher and a pretty fast track to the big leagues this season. Less than 2 full years in the minor leagues before he surfaces in the major leagues.
And started the year in Louisville. He came up on April 18th. He got into the rotation when Johnny Cueto went on the DL early. And he has been impressive.
He's been bouncing back and forth between the bullpen and the starting rotation. Johnny Cueto's now on the disabled list for the 3rd time this year. And Halton strikes out. Just the fastball. Well placed. First and third, 1 out. Ryan Braun singles in his return to the lineup, but a couple of strikeouts ends the inning. Rewind. Take you back. Double play in the first inning. A little soft liner off the bat of Zach Cozart. And some nifty footwork for Sean Halton turns it into 2. Scoreless first inning for Willie Peralta. Halton striking out with runners at the corners in the first inning, and these two young pitchers are off to scoreless starts tonight as we head to the second inning. Brandon Phillips will lead off. Now a three-time All-Star. He's won 3 Gold Gloves, and he'll be an All-Star starter, joining his teammate Joey Votto on the right side of the National League infield next Tuesday. Phillips hitting .265. He has 12 home runs and 64 runs batted in, and he's one of those rare power hitting second basemen that hit cleanup in a batting order. Chase Utley on occasion would hit cleanup, 3 or 4 typically for Utley.
A pretty good spot in the lineup between Votto and Bruce.
There's a bouncer out to Segura, and he makes the play in time for the out. One gone. Phillips retired. Gives us a chance to bring you our carsoup.com email the booth question. Landon and Ashland wants to know, do players practice robbing home runs? I know pitchers do when they shag BP.
I mean, everybody does. I mean, everybody likes to do that. Guys shagging for batting practice. Carlos Gomez is a guy that works on that, particularly on the road. I mean, we see him do that in ballparks where he hasn't been before, get a sense for the warning track, how high the wall is. And Ed Cedar, John Shelby hit these guys fly balls, and don't practice that type of thing. That's something that Carlos Gomez takes great pride in, his defense. Now you talk to Gomez, and it's not certain what he'd prefer to do. We talked about it on our open. Would he rather hit one or take one away? I think he'd rather take one away like he did last night.
And he's done it twice in his career as Jay Bruce fouls it away. Gomez told us last night that he took a home run away that would have ended the game while playing for the Minnesota Twins as Joe Nathan was on the mound trying to nail down the save. It was Frankie Rodriguez who he saved last night.
Well, again, he's got to be in the at least the top 3 or 4 in all of baseball as far as center fielders, with all the things that he can do to help you win.
As Jay Bruce strikes out number 2. Well, Gomez had a chat with Sophia earlier today, and she asked him about the reaction of Joey Votto.
I mean, 2 reactions like surprised me, and when I look it's funny. Is that the one Francisco did? Like, he's no doubt about it. He thinks it's a home run. And, like, he walked into the dugout when the Votto hit the ball, and then Votto asked the umpire, like, how to show the ball, and I show the ball, and I see Votto getting his knees, and I put his hands like that, and that's really funny.
And that's the thing. I mean, Carlos, he grabbed the baseball over the wall and never did take the ball out of his glove to show the umpire. So nobody really sure instantly, but by his reaction, you knew he had it. Votto wanted to see the baseball. He showed it to him, and Votto couldn't believe it.
One of the great moments at Miller Park. And as far as just the pure catch itself, take away the scenario and the particular inning, the play that Gomez made in Houston is probably the best catch. That's one of the best catches I've ever seen. But then you add in the 9th inning, the fact that it saved a game, all of a sudden that becomes the number 1 as Peralta hits Chris Heisey with 2 outs and a man on. A hit batter.
And you're talking about that fly ball in center field in Houston up Towles Hill. Go back, you have to go up a little bit of a hill and then make a catch. He's able to make that one, and it's been amazing to watch the progression of Carlos Gomez. But Peralta getting a piece of Chris Heisey, that's where you have to pitch this guy. Got to pitch him inside. That one got him around the back of the elbow.
He stands right on top of the plate and takes that one in a tough spot. That's got a smart.
You saw him hook a couple of cut fastballs away from Kyle Ocean yesterday's game on the outer part of the plate. Got to pitch him in.
So a base runner with 2 outs, and here's Hanahan, and Peralta, for good measure, makes Heisey hit the dirt. Hanahan getting to start at third base today. Todd Frazier was there yesterday. I think it's more to get Hanahan some at bats. He played a lot when Joey Votto was out. There's a slow roller. Segura coming in. Got to hurry here. No problem. Segura making it look easy. 6-3 put out, and Peralta with 2 scoreless.
Starting to make robbing home runs look easy. His 4th of the season last night, a game winner, and his best yet. So tonight on our AT&T Twitter poll, we are asking Brewers fans to weigh in. Besides Carlos Gomez, who is the best home run robbing outfielder? Some great Gold Glovers here on this list: Ken Griffey, Torrey Hunter, Andruw Jones, Kirby Puckett. Tons of Gold Gloves between the 4 of them. And talking with Gomez last night, he said, look, by my math, I've got 17 home runs. I've hit 13 and I've robbed 4. So nice. He's adding an asterisk. He thinks he deserves 17 guys. And really, at this point, it's hard to argue with his math.
Yeah, and I like that answer from Carlos Gomez. Well, got a story developing here. Heisey hit by the Peralta fastball last inning, and he is going to have to come out. He tried to take a throw in left field. Look at the welt that has already risen on the back of his elbow. And Heisey, it's not his throwing arm, but unable to bend his elbow, and he's coming out. Derek Robinson is going to be in the game in left field for Cincinnati.
And it's going to just continue to get worse throughout the night, but they go in there, get some ice on it, and you hope that as far as the Reds go, that's not going to swell up and be a chronic issue for him. But that's right on the bone, the back of that elbow like that, and those things hurt. Didn't want to come out, but I think that that thing's going to continue to get weaker and weaker throughout the night as it swells.
So Robinson in the game and left. Very fast outfielder. This is the pitch that sends Heisey to the clubhouse. Man. Looks painful.
Right around that funny bone.
Uni Bencor leading off for the Brew Crew. Sangrani getting out of a jam in the first inning. He struck out the side at first and third with 1 out, and then he struck out Gomez and Halton to end the inning.
I like that list of outfielders for the Twitter question tonight. Poll. I'll add one if I can have a write-in. Devon White. Devon White. I played with Devon White as a member of the California Angels, and then he came over to the Brewers for a year or two. I think it was a year. But Devo, that guy can cover some ground out there in center field.
So smooth. Betancourt Betancourt lines one into left center field. That's down. Robinson able to cut it off. Betancourt pulling up the reins around first base. And a hard hit single for UNB.
Fastball down and in. He just drops the head of the bat on it and drives it into left field. Second hit off of Cingrani. And made a start back against the Brewers, in May. That was May 10th. 4 innings. One of his first starts. 4 innings, gave up only 5 hits in a no decision.
So a leadoff single. Second hit for Milwaukee, and here is Maldonado. Yeah, that Gomez catch last night reminded a lot of folks of the All-Star game in 2002 here at Miller Park when Torrey Hunter robbed a home run from Bonds. These are perfect home run robbing walls here. I'm going to give Robin Yount credit for the height of the walls.
Yeah.
Is that accurate?
That's it.
He had a lot to do with the configuration of the outfield. Feeling like there'd be a triples alley on that diagonal wall right there where that Caterpillar sign is. And you do see a lot of triples in this ballpark, but it's also the perfect height to be able to make a jump. It's an 8-foot wall out there.
That's a pretty good leap. I mean, it takes a pretty good effort to get up there, but yeah, most outfielders can get up and over that wall. We've seen Ryan Braun go up and take away home runs. Corey Hart.
Nobody plays it better than Gomez. I'll tell you, Ryan Braun made a nice catch. Speaking of going back near the wall in the first inning. It's a part of Braun's game that you take for granted a little bit because of his offensive success. Braun's so fast and knows these corners. He knows this outfield well. It's a pretty standard outfield except for the warning track. That's what gets a lot of opposing players. It's a wider warning track than most ballparks. So you see a lot of early jumps.
And the other thing that throws off players, even Brewers sometimes, Ryan Braun will tell you how difficult it is, the glass panels that they look into when they try and catch a line drive or something like that. It makes it a little bit more difficult than the average ballpark.
Mike Cameron used to say about this warning track here on the in front of the outfield walls, it's a 5-stepper, not a 3-stepper like most. So it's that 5th step that you jump off of when you make a play like that. Thought that was a good way to put it. It's all about a rhythm and how you practice it. You feel the warning track in your feet, the change of surface from grass to the cinder out there.
It's about 20 feet wide, almost 20 feet. And I guess you have long strides, it's 5-strider. Not so long, 6-strider.
Yeah, for me to be about like 10 strides. It's a called strike 3. Maldonado rung up. 4th strikeout for Cingrani. All of his outs have come via the K.
Most of his pitches tonight have been the fastball. I'm not sure how many breaking pitches he's thrown, but not too many. And that sequence to Martin Maldonado, only one changeup, the rest fastball.
Logan Schaefer inserted into the starting lineup. Nori Aoki, late scratch, left elbow injury. So Schaefer, who thought his playing time was going to be cut short a little bit with the return of Ryan Braun, is right back in there tonight. Tough matchup for him tonight with the left-handed pitcher. Schaefer hitting .200 against lefties, 5 for 25 for the year. Nori Aoki, a left-handed hitter as well, but he's been among the best in the league against left-handers. He's got a much higher batting average against lefties than right-handers. Aoki hitting .345 against lefties. Breaking ball in there for a strike.
And it's the arm angle for a left-handed hitter when you have a left-handed pitcher out there that throws him off. And Cingrani is a tough left-hander on lefties because of his arm angle. It throws across his body, and that ball coming across home plate at a diagonal. Yeah, coming into play, Cingrani has given up a .213 batting average against lefties without allowing a home run.
Making his 9th start of the year and his 2nd start since returning to the rotation last Wednesday. Schaefer able to lay off a tough pitch.
He's given up 9 home runs in 53 innings. That's quite a few homers. That's because he relies on that fastball, the high fastball, and that's never a good idea, you know, throughout an entire game at Great American Ballpark. That's a easy ballpark to hit homers.
The Brewers hit a couple of home runs against him back on May 10th. Cincinnati won that game 4-3. Cingrani went 4 innings that day. Home runs came from Braun and Segura in that game in May. 2-2. Betancourt still at first. Schaefer gets jammed. Phillips shovels to Cozart. No chance to get Schaefer. And out number 2 at second base. The Reds get the lead out. This is a very good defensive club, Cincinnati. Got a couple of Gold Glovers on the right side with Joey Votto and Brandon Phillips. Cozart is an excellent shortstop.
And that hit hard enough to turn the double play. The Reds have turned 65 double plays. That's near the bottom, or actually at the bottom of the National League, but that's not a reflection of the defense. That's a reflection of the pitching.
Two outs now, and here's the Brewers pitcher Willie Peralta. And you can see by his swing he is a good hitter for a pitcher. He has an idea at the plate. Has 5 hits this year. One of those came against Cincinnati. Brandon Phillips cradling that baseball
like an egg
with no spin on it, right for Cozart, right in his wheelhouse to try to turn 2.
Well, you can do that when you're real close to second base. You want to show the baseball to your fielder. You want to kind of surprise him and show it to him, flip it to him, and really no chance. And Phillips knew they weren't going to get a double play.
It's like a point guard in basketball. It's so much of the double play story is the first guy, how he delivers the baseball to the one that's making the turn. You're looking at one of the best in the business in Brandon Phillips tonight as Peralta strikes out, and the inning is over. So 5 strikeouts already for the young Cingrani.
They get 40 Miller Lite beer pen tickets to a Brewers home game this year. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and our good friends at Miller Lite.
No score as we head to the third inning. Willie Peralta and Tony Cingrani. Cingrani racking up the Ks. He has 5 of them. Peralta with 1 so far. A lot of ground balls off the bats of the Cincinnati Reds. Brewers and the Reds will wrap up this series tomorrow afternoon. It's a matinee here at Miller Park. Tickets still available, so come join us. Come sit in the sun with us. The Brewers and the Reds tomorrow afternoon. It'll be the final home game before the All-Star break. Brewers are headed to Arizona for a 4-game series beginning Thursday. And then the All-Star break next Monday through Thursday. Back at it at Miller Park next Friday. Marlins are coming into town. Ryan Hannigan will lead off. Hannigan, Cingrani, and then back to the top of the order in Chu. Well, you wonder how Hannigan is going to be able to swing the bat. He is dealing with an injured hand. It's more up on the top of his wrist. Injured it on a check swing last week. Unable to play last night.
Yeah, very solid defensive catcher, and he's come up with some big hits against Milwaukee, having a rough offensive year. Guy can throw, catch and throw, Ryan Hannigan.
Hannigan fouls it back. Willie Peralta and Martin Maldonado got a couple of excellent defensive catchers. I love how Maldonado controls the game. That's a little thing right there, but that's basically a message to Willie Peralta that he's upset about that pitch. He fires one back to the mound. Here you go.
Let's go. Getting back to him as bad as fast as he threw it.
Trying to get his attention.
It's part of that nonverbal communication between a pitcher and a catcher that speaks volumes. Just a look, or maybe a motion with the body, something that both of them know what's going on. There's one.
A pump of the fist, and that's outside, ball 4. So the Brewers don't test that wrist or hand of Ryan Hannigan. He draws a leadoff walk. Charter Cable high-speed pitch. These two pitchers are bringing it tonight. Peralta topping out at 96 already. Cingrani's hit 94. Cingrani can hit a little bit. He has 4 of them this year. Handles the bat well.
286 batting average, I'll say.
He is 4 for 14 at the plate. He scored a couple of runs. Cingrani squaring early, gets a bunt down. Peralta will make the play for the out. Close play at first. Sacrifice bunt for Cingrani. Advancing Hannigan as we check in with Sophia.
Well, after the All-Star break, fans can come out to Miller Park as your Milwaukee Brewers host the Miami Marlins Friday, July 19th through Sunday, July 21st. For tickets, they can call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com. And pitching coach Rick Kranitz said he's seen big steps forward from Willie Peralta, saying that he's just been able to manage the game better along with his emotions. He said the best example was the last game where he had a few errors behind him, men on, but was able to get out of it. He said earlier things would have just blown up on him. He said Willie's ultimately learning that sometimes you can't rely on your great stuff. You got to create it within the game, guys.
And he's learning how to pitch. I mean, everybody, a lot of guys at this level, they get to the big leagues because of their stuff, but they got to learn how to pitch and have to learn how to get themselves out of trouble. Willie's still young. He's still learning, and it's sometimes it's a tough lesson to be learned at the big league level. It's very unforgiving.
One gone with a runner at second. Shin-Soo Choo at the plate, and that one's into center field. Slicing. Gomez able to run it down. Out number 2. Sounded like he got it down on the label a little bit. And Peralta retires a good hitter.
Anything that gets hit in the air in that direction is normally an out. You get spoiled by that. Gomez gets such a good jump on the baseball and makes him look easy.
With 2 outs, it'll be Zach Cozart. Now for Willie Peralta, this was about the time last year in AAA that he started to dial it up. He had a great second half in AAA, and that's what earned him his call up to the big leagues. And you just have to trust the eyes of the Brewers baseball operations personnel. You know, Doug Melvin, Gord Ash, they talk about patience with Peralta, a young pitcher in his first full season in the big leagues. I saw Dick Grosh over the weekend, one of the great scouts who is employed by the Brewers, the scout who signed and or drafted and signed Derek Jeter. And Grosh said the same thing about Peralta. He said he's going to be good. He's going to be a 1 or 2 starter in the big leagues. He's that good. You just got to be patient with him, let him figure it out, let him problem solve.
I show the patience in Peralta that the Reds showed in Homer Bailey, and they're finally reaping the benefits of that.
Off the end of the bat to Segura. And Peralta with another scoreless frame. No score as we head to the bottom of the 3rd. Some of the beautiful images courtesy of Phantom Cam. Via the strikeout. Take a look at the mechanics of Tony Cingrani, and mostly fastballs today.
Yeah, and that's what he throws. I mean, he's got a good command of that fastball. What makes him so tough is the fact that he hides the ball very well, brings it behind his back, throws across his body. You see the arm angle, tough on lefties with that arm angle. And you would expect that with an arm angle like that, he'd get a lot of movement, but he really doesn't. It's a pretty straight fastball.
You really see the torque, the pronation of the arm to get that run on his fastball. The Phantom Cam gives us some great looks as far as mechanics and where pitchers are supposed to be at certain positions throughout their motion. We're going to catch up with Kyle Loesch tomorrow. We're attempting to anyway, as Weeks on the first pitch sends one to center, playable for Chu. And a long loud out for Ricky Weeks. He just missed it. Ricky's sitting on 9 home runs this year. Certainly a major power threat. Powerball home run leaderboard looks like this right now, with Carlos Gomez with 13. And when you count the 4 that he saved, he feels like he should have 17. So we'll give him that. Segura and Lucroy with 11. Lucroy's hit home runs in each of his last 3 games.
And the only reason he's not catching tonight, the combination of Peralta and Maldonado has worked pretty well. Luke's got it together at the plate for sure.
Here's Segura now thinking about a bunt, takes a strike. Segura walked his first time up. Was stranded at third base. Segura leapfrogged Joey Votto, the National League batting average leaders, last night with his 3 hits. He's now 4th in the league. Votto is 5th. Ahead of Segura, Yadier Molina, Michael Kadire, and Alan Craig of the Cardinals. Kadire's been in the news a little bit. He was added to David Wright's home run derby squad. That's not a name that you think of as far as I mean, he's a power hitter, but as far as a home run derby type player. But apparently the story is that David Wright and Kadire are from the same town. They've known each other for a long time. And David Wright wanting to pay a little homage to Michael Kadire. So he's the one who earned the right to make the pick, and he made the pick.
Good to be captain, isn't it?
And he'll have to deal with it.
And you take the heat. I remember when Prince Fielder was the captain in the National League. He took some heat for not picking Justin Upton.
Yes, he did. All season long, as Segura strikes out. Those home run derby squads were announced a couple of days ago.
And the thing that worked against Prince Fielder, the fact that the All-Star game was in Arizona at the time.
That's right. Yeah, not only did Prince get booed the rest of that season in the series with the Diamondbacks, but then the Brewers played the Diamondbacks in the postseason, and he got booed loudly.
But he hit the 3-run home run to give the National League a win.
Yes, he did. Ryan Braun, a former home run derby participant, had his agent throwing to him, Nez Balello, that particular year. Fielder always had Sandy Guerrero throw to him for his home run derbies. Fielder's back on the team in the American League. There's a strike. 2-1 to count on Ryan Braun.
A lot of Tigers on the All-Star team in the American League. 5 of them. 6 of them.
Cingrani just deceptive enough. He has good velocity, but after his first start against the Brewers, there was a lot of talk from the Brewer hitters that he's got a little something to him, a little late kick. It's unusual for a left-hander. And he was very successful with a high fastball.
Successful with the high fastball, but sometimes the guy will sit on it and knock it out of the ballpark. That's why he's giving up those 9 homers. Live by the sword, as they say, die by the sword.
And you don't figure Cingrani is a great matchup for his ballpark in Cincinnati. Braun gets jammed, and Cozart makes the play for the out. 3 up, 3 down for Tony Cingrani. 3 in the books at Miller Park, no score. Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Piggly Wiggly, the official supermarket of Fox Sports Wisconsin. By Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin, your ticket to more. And by Marshfield Clinic. Don't just live, shine. Beautiful night at Miller Park, Milwaukee. Roof is open. No score as we head to the fourth inning. And Willie Peralta back on the mound for the Brewers. Milwaukee with 2 hits. Ryan Braun singled at his first pitch he saw in his first game back, coming back from the DL with a thumb injury. Uni Betancourt had a single as well. Here's Joey Votto now, and he's swinging away first pitch.
Ordinarily, Joey Votto is going to work the count, take some pitches, and get deep into counts, but he will attack early from time to time.
Little half swing roller out to third. Betancourt makes a play for the out. Didn't mean to do it. Votto is retired.
Lightning in a bottle right there. You get an out with Joey Votto at the plate like that, you feel fortunate. Betancourt having enough time, gets it in the glove, and a good throw to first base.
So 1 gone as we check in with Sophia. Brandon Phillips coming to the plate, and I hear the Gold Glover had some praise for the Brewers shortstop, Sophia.
Well, he did, and Gene Segura won the players vote. You can definitely count Brandon Phillips as part of his fan club. He said that kid is just doing everything, and he's doing it extremely well. He also told me that he had the report on Segura before he had even made his big league debut, because Brandon's brother PJ played in the Angels organization at the low A and high level with Gene, and he said jokingly, yeah, the reports I got from my brother were always, man, if this guy could play some defense, because he can hit. He said that was all he kept saying, was this kid can hit. He said it was great to see him do it here at the big league level, and he's excited to play with him in New York at the All-Star game.
Yeah, they could be the keystone combination at the All-Star game if Segura ends up as the starter in that game, pending Troy Tulowitzki. Segura was saying that PJ had a bad shoulder injury. Those two played together in the lower levels of the Angels system in Single A and had a shoulder injury. They tried to move him to the outfield, and it didn't work out for PJ like it has for his older brother, who's one of the premier players in the game.
Well, PJ will be glad to know that Segura is playing some defense.
Yes, he is.
And he continues to hit.
And Phillips draws the walk.
Hey, for just $20, see the Brew Crew in the zoo. Get one Terrace Reserve ticket to select Brewers games and one 2013 adult admission ticket to the Milwaukee County Zoo, plus a free beverage tumbler. For tickets, visit brewers.com/zoo.
Got a man on with 1 out, and here is Jay Bruce. Jay Bruce, a strikeout victim in the second inning, 1 of 2 Ks, and our head and shoulders width. Take you back to that sequence in the second. Got him on a high fastball.
That's where you got to pitch Jay Bruce. He loves the ball down the zone, and you have something on it, get up around the belt, has a tougher time getting to it.
Bruce has always had great success against Milwaukee, hitting nearly .360 against the Brewers' lifetime. But his strikeouts are way up at this point. Only Dan Uggla has more strikeouts in the National League than Jay Bruce. Now 107 Ks for Jay Bruce this season, and this is game 90.
You can stomach those strikeouts when you get the production that Bruce gives you. 60 RBIs, 18 home runs. You don't worry too much about, the batting average for a guy like Bruce. He's more of a run producer. And he has killed Brewers pitching over his career.
Now the way Chu and Votto get on base, top 2 in the league in that category. Brandon Phillips and Jay Bruce benefit from that the most, and if they stay healthy, it's almost hard to imagine a season where they're not going to drive in 100 runs, because Shin-Soo Choo and Joey Votto are getting on base nearly half the time. And those two hitters hit ahead of Phillips and Bruce, and that's why Dusty Baker has his lineup as it is. Baker feels like Phillips is more of a run producer. Joey Votto is a guy who will drive in runs, but he'll also take a lot of walks. He leads the league in that category. And so he's put Votto in the 3-hole and Phillips behind him to try to cash in on all of that activity on the bases.
If there is a knock on Votto, it's that he might be a little bit too patient with men on base. But he gets on, and Phillips and Bruce drive him in.
Phillips has 64 runs batted in, Bruce with 60.
Good awareness that time by Peralta. It looked like Phillips was bouncing around out there, taking an extra step, and he just stepped off.
Two balls, two strikes. And a check on Phillips. Phillips is smart. He knows that any distraction he can offer as a base runner with Jay Bruce at the plate might lead to a mistake to Bruce by the pitcher.
And Phillips used to be a base stealer. He's only got one.
Looks like he wants to run. And Peralta, they got him. Did Halton hang on to the baseball? He did.
They're bouncing around a little bit too much out there, playing around at first base, and he gets himself picked off. Not sure why you want to do that with Jay Bruce at the plate, but the Brewers will take it. Don't think he's going to be running. He's got one stolen base in 3 attempts this year. And he's out easily at first base. The only question was whether Halton held on to it.
Yeah, you could see Halton. I mean, Phillips came right down on his glove. If Halton's hand comes out of that glove, then there could be a safe call. He just hung right in there with it. He wasn't budging. And now Bruce draws the walk. That's a big play here.
A perfect throw from Willie Peralta, and Brandon Phillips not even close. Able to get the tag and almost breaking his wrist. Phillips lands right on top of him, and Halton does the right thing. Just keeps the glove right there.
It's a benefit to have arms like legs, like Sean Halton does. Robinson on the first pitch. Fly ball to left. Braun will give it a look. Good effort. Excellent use of the headwear. Giving it to the little boy. Good job. Good fan work today. Doing his best Tom Gorzolani impression down there, catching it with his hat. Foul back off Maldonado. Is this as good as Gomez here, Rock?
Well done.
I mean, in the context of fan catches, that's up there.
Yeah, that's good. Probably saved a few bruises. Maybe a fan in front of him, but you ever catch a ball with your hat? It's not easy. It's not as easy as it looks.
Are you offering hat analysis right now?
Maybe that might be an instructional tomorrow. Got a hat up here I can use. Got to have a very strong grip when you
takes a good thumb.
Hey, I mean, you just can't, you got to have a good grip on the bill of the cap.
I see.
Right here. I mean, got to really
clamp down.
Take some muscle.
Peralta strikes out Robinson. Excellent hat analysis, partner. You're on your game tonight. series of community outreach events that will take place during the season from May through August. These events involve partnering with Brewers Community Foundation, players and coaches, Brewers' wives, alumni, and team personnel, all working hands-on in the community. The community events will be funded in part by Brewers Community Foundation and focus on the areas of health, education, recreation, and basic needs. Beautiful Miller Park on a Tuesday night. No score here. Bottom of the fourth inning. Carlos Gomez leads off for Milwaukee. Brewers had a great chance to score in the first inning with runners at the corners in 1 out, but Gomez struck out and then Halton struck out to end the inning. Cingrani has 6 strikeouts already and keeps riding that fastball up in the strike zone, and the Brewers haven't been able to catch up to it.
The only success that they've had on the fastball is when it's been down in the strike zone. Everything up, mid-thigh to the letters, the Brewers have had a tough time with.
He lays off at that time. First time All-Star Carlos Gomez, and how sweet it must be for him to be able to go to New York for the All-Star game in the home of the Mets at Citi Field. The organization that signed him and developed him, brought him up to the big leagues. Popped him up. And Phillips will make the catch for out number 1. Still have a chance to make your voices heard. There is the final vote that is underway for the final roster spot, the 34th spot on the All-Star roster. These are the final 5. Freddie Freeman is out of the gates as the leader from the Atlanta Braves. Yasiel Puig, he is second. Hence Desmond and Gonzalez. That's the National Leaguers. These are the American Leaguers. Voting ends Thursday at 4 p.m. All pitchers on this list. Yeah, Bruce Bochy went with all position players. Jim Leyland went with all pitchers for the final vote. Sean Halton with 1 out. Halton's been a big power hitter throughout his minor league career, and you feel like his first home run in the big leagues is imminent. He's been hitting the ball very hard. A lot of line drive outs. He hit a 400-foot blast in D.C. that ended up just in front of the wall as an out. You're talking about great center fielders. Denard Span ran it down in D.C.
He's got a quick bat. Big guy that has a pretty good understanding of his strike zone and quick hands. He missed a pretty good pitch to hit that last foul ball.
2-2 the count. Halton hit 9 home runs in 66 games in AAA Nashville before his promotion. A first baseman by trade, but as Hunter Morris continues to put up the big numbers, big prospect at first base now in AAA, Halton has played a lot of outfield this year. Crazy the way the game goes. He's got to get to the big leagues to play first base. There's no job at first base in AAA.
Yeah. And Hunter Morris is swinging the bat well.
I think he's hit 17 home runs now after winning the MVP award in the Southern League last year in AA.
Yeah, that's the pitch right there that Cingrani's been able to get by the Brewers all night so far, that high fastball. It just comes on you quickly. I mean, talking to Johnny Nairn at the batting cage today, said that with that 93, 94 mile per hour fastball to the hitter seems more like 96.
Little jam shot pop up. Cingrani over the shoulder. Nice catch by the Cincinnati pitcher. That's about as Willie Mays as a pitcher can ever hope to be right there.
Tougher play than it looks. Not as tough as catching a baseball with your hat, but he's got to go down the hill of the pitching mound and make the play over the shoulder and two-hands it for the out. Goes up and then down and makes the catch.
Avoids the spike cleaner, the rosin bag, and all of that. They put all those things there because they're never in play. So you don't see that very much.
And they put him on a down slope at the back of the mound so the hitter can't see him.
This guy's been impressive tonight. 2 jam shot pop up in this inning. Betancourt is a high fastball hitter. On paper looks like a good matchup for him tonight with Cingrani. Got a sharp single into left center in the second inning. Strike 2. Uni disagrees.
Cingrani doesn't mess around, does he? Doesn't take too much time between pitches. He doesn't venture very far for that pitching rubber. Got to slow him down a little bit.
Swing and a miss. Betancourt down on strikes. Number 7 for Cingrani. Not a lot of batted balls finding the outfield.
In the world for the biggest event of the summer. Baseball's Midsummer Classic returns to New York with home field advantage for the World Series on the line. It's the 2013 Major League Baseball All-Star Game live from New York next Tuesday only on Fox. Carlos Gomez, he's headed to New York along with Gene Segura. We take a look at the most All-Star appearances by Brewers Ryan Braun and Paul Molitor. Cecil Cooper leading with 5. You see the rest: Don Money, Ben Sheets, Robin Yount, Prince Fielder, Ben Ogilvie, and Dan Plesac. An impressive list to be on. Gomez and Segura will join it for the first time.
And congratulations to those two.
Only 2 pitchers on that list. Ben Sheets and the sack man, Dan Plesac.
Sheets was the all-star starter at Yankee Stadium in 2008 for the National League. Peralta and Cingrani hooked up in a pitcher's duel tonight. Hard hit ball out to Segura. And Hanahan is out. 1 gone.
Very impressive for Willie Peralta. All his ground ball outs tonight. Only 2 fly ball outs and a line out.
Pitch count in good shape for Peralta. Just 54 pitches here as he works in the 5th. I know Renicky was very disappointed to have to take him out of his last start. He had a shutout going when his hamstring started to bother him. Originally it was called a tight hamstring, and then as the game went on, that diagnosis was changed to a hamstring strain. So I think that's when everybody got concerned about Peralta. Well, then a couple of days later he comes back. He said he felt great. He worked a full bullpen side session between starts out in the bullpen. Said he was great. He said he had a very good bullpen. So the Brewers were in a little bit of a pickle trying to decide, should they push him back? Should they give him a couple of days, or should you just let him try to fit right back in his rotation spot, which affected everything else concerning who was going to start for the remainder of that series.
Man, with the way the injuries have gone for the Brewers so far this year, you got better be safe than sorry, right? They took him out, and I think they caught it in time, and because of that, he's able to make a start. Hey, leave him out there and maybe hurt it more, and you might lose him for a while. 2 of his last 3 starts, very good. He had a little bit of a hiccup against the Cubs.
The Brewers played very poor defense in that game against Chicago. Against the Nationals, when Peralta left the game, it was a 0-0 ball game. That was a game the Brewers scored 4 runs in the 8th inning and won 4-0. So a no decision for Peralta despite not allowing any runs. Two quick outs. Cingrani, the pitcher, at the plate. Quickly a ball and 2 strikes on him. Pitchers comparison today. Cingrani picking up all the Ks. And Peralta makes quick work of his mound opponent. 3 up, 3 down, 4.5 in the books. Brewers are coming up. I want to remind you that Fox Sports 1 is on its way, America's new 24-hour sports network. Fox Sports 1 will be your home for great live sports, all the news and highlights you want, shows and specials that you only get from Fox. America's new sports network is Fox Sports 1, and it's coming soon. August 17th is the launch date. Cingrani back to the mound. He's given up just 2 hits, both singles, Braun and Betancourt. Cincinnati has just 1 hit, and that was the first batter of the game, Shin-Soo Choo. Peralta working on a 1-hit shutout through 5 innings. He's issued 3 walks and a hit batter. So here's Maldonado now, bottom of the order coming up. Maldonado, Schaefer, and Peralta. Maldonado struck out looking in the second inning. You can understand why he'd be up there hacking early in this at bat against Cingrani. He's just pouring in the strikes right now.
And one of the few pitches that Cingrani has left down in the strike zone. Maldonado thought it was a bit low, but Tim Walkie did not agree.
Hard to believe Tony Cingrani almost quit the game as an amateur when he was at Rice. He actually had such a bad year. His confidence was so low that he offered to give his scholarship back at Rice. He didn't feel like he deserved a scholarship. Here he is pitching in the big leagues and pitching well. It's amazing how things can turn, and a lot of it is internal. This is such a game of failure. Confidence is everything in this sport, and when you lose it, it's hard to get it back, but Cingrani did.
And maybe one of those issues where a college coach was telling him, you can't get by with just a fastball, young man. He's doing it at the big league level. And most of the time you can't. He really hasn't thrown much over the plate other than his fastball tonight.
Just threw a changeup there and he missed badly. Three and two.
You see a lot of these young pitchers coming up to the big leagues throwing a lot of fastballs. I mean, an inordinate number of fastballs and having success. Shelby Miller is a perfect example of a guy that does that. Brewers have faced a number of young starters that have done that.
Yeah, Garrett Cole of the Pirates did that, and he's still over the season throwing nearly 80% fastballs in his starts. Located fastballs. Missed inside this time. Very close pitch, one similar to the one he struck him out on back in the second. And that's his second walk allowed. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of Cingrani tonight. He has moved that fastball around effectively.
He struck out at least one batter in every inning. He struck out the side in the first, including back-to-back punch-outs with a man at third base for the Brewers. And Milwaukee just having a tough time picking up that heater.
Two hits, two walks. Bettencourt and Braun with the base hits tonight. Leadoff base runner for Logan Schaefer. And he hits that one high and deep right center. Logan Schaefer sends one out. His first career home run. It's a two-run shot, and the Brewers have the lead.
And one of those low fastballs, and Logan Schaefer centers on it and knocks it out of here. A no-doubter to right center. See, when you make them get that fastball down, they become hittable. And the Brewers on the bench giving him the silent treatment as he comes in. Down in his zone, out over the plate, and Schaefer gives the Brewers and Willie Peralta a 2-0 lead. You see that sweet spot, not much rattle in that bat when you hit him there, and that's got to feel good for Logan.
You know, for a guy who has never hit a home run in the big leagues, you'd expect it to be a wall scraper, but not the case. Schaefer hit a bomb out of here. Two-run home run, the first of his career. A bouncer by Peralta. Long throw across the diamond for Hanahan for the out. Check out the silent treatment the Brewers give him in the dugout. He comes in and giving himself high fives. My first one, he says. Nothing.
Yeah, they'll give it to him. Man, make him. Here they come.
That's great. Yeah, it's good to see this team having some fun again, right? A quick two-spot for Milwaukee.
A guy that wasn't even supposed to start tonight. Found out about a half an hour before the game.
Top of the order, Ricky Weeks. Strike one from Cingrani. And Nori Aoki, left elbow injury, taken out of the starting lineup. Schaefer put in. I'm sure Renicky concerned about Schaefer, a lefty against the left-handed Cingrani, but it has paid off in a big way tonight.
That first home run Cingrani's allowed against a left-handed hitter this year. Trying to find it. Brewers are trying to get it back.
Got to get into your negotiating skills right now. That is a long way up there in the Toyota territory where Schaefer hit it. That's where the big boys hit him. I'm sure they'll do all they can to arrange a meeting or maybe swap a bat or something.
Maybe a Ryan Braun bat might jar that ball loose from that gentleman.
I like it. Strike called, inside corner. Weeks is rung up. 2 outs in the inning. It's funny every time. The silent treatment.
Johnny Nairn can't do it to him, though, the hitting coach. Guys aren't even looking at him. All right, I get it. Okay.
That's beautiful. No, he'll never forget that one.
Yeah, the way that happens is somebody on that bench just yelled silent treatment, and they all chimed in. They all got it, and just kind of ignored him for a while. You ever had the silent treatment?
No, you got to hit home runs to get silent treatment. They don't give you silent treatment. Well, they do actually, but it's not for fun when you hit foul ball pop-ups on the first pitch. Ball with a strike on Segura.
You just don't want the silent treatment in the clubhouse. That's not where you want the silent treatment.
I mean, that's the real silent treatment.
Yeah.
That's not even the ironic kind.
And the clubhouse guy comes up to you and says, you know, the skipper wants to see you in the office. And bring your suitcase.
Segura pops it up. Phillips will make the call and the catch. Now Logan Schaefer, he's got a beautiful swing, and he found the sweet spot on the bat. A 2-run home run for Schaefer, his first in his major league career, and it gives the Brewers the lead. Breaking the shutout And we head to the 6th inning, 2-0 Milwaukee. Our Ho Chunk Gaming text question tonight: do you think Phantom Cam can be used as a teaching tool? Marvin and Cudahy wants to know.
I think that's the best use for it, actually. I mean, there's a perfect example. Brandon Phillips showing the baseball to Cozart and giving him a nice feed over to second base. See the transition, Betancourt on the play on a slow roll to third base. The transition, bowling glove and in the hand. And there's Gibby giving us those good shots. Happy birthday, by the way. I would imagine you have to keep that camera pretty still. A little bit of a shake, it wouldn't work out so well.
Not like that. An artist behind that camera.
Yeah, I like that that Phantom Cam. I mean, it is a good tool. We used that in yesterday's ball game, talking about Segura catching the ground ball in the palm of his glove, and that way he's able to get it out of his glove quickly and shovel it off the Weeks for the double play.
Now tomorrow on the Brewers Live, we're actually going to have a chat with Kyle Loesch. We were talking about some of the images that we saw from Loesch's start yesterday as Chu out to Weeks on a jam shot for out number 1. So Loesch is actually curious to hear about the way these pictures looked, and at 5,000 per second, you can really see a lot that you can't see obviously with a regular camera. So Kyle Loesch tomorrow, Brewers Live pregame, is going to kind of walk us through his mechanics and the physiology of his pitching, and he gave us 3 points to look at, and we have dialed those up, and we're going to do that tomorrow with Kyle Loesch, so you can really see the torque, the strain on his arm, and the release.
Yeah, that pronate that arm, and you wonder why pitchers have arm problems. Look at the way that arm bends, and you know the tension on all the joints. And Kyle Loesch will probably be amazed at what he sees from himself on those pictures.
And if you're going to have a Phantom Cam on Kyle Loesch, how cool is it to have a tattoo like that? That is awesome. The tattoo kind of covers up the scar that he had when the surgery that he had to relieve pressure on a nerve that almost cost him his career. So we'll look forward to that tomorrow. Peralta hits the corner for a strike. 3-2 now on Cozart. You got Votto due up next. Off the end of the bat, Segura scoops it up. Out number 2, a couple of ground ball outs.
Keeps pouring in the ground ball outs, keeping the baseball down, and it's got good movement on it. Really staying on top well tonight. And the Reds beating it into the ground.
I've got Peralta with 8 ground ball outs so far tonight.
Yeah, 3 fly ball outs and 3 strikeouts. Look how much of his hand is sticking out of that glove. That gives you the soft hands. The glove, actually the ball closes the glove as it hits.
Votto into center field, a line drive right at Gomez for the out. 1-2-3 inning. Peralta dealing tonight. A 1-hitter through 6. history tonight. Check out the hot dog and the Italian, and it's the hot dog who ends up blowing away the field here. That is a record time posted by a racing sausage.
Yeah.
Record time.
Well done, hot dog. Hot dog's stepped it up a little bit.
Totally redeeming himself after a very poor start. Everything looks cool on the Phantom cam, including a man in a hot dog suit. Two to nothing our score. The Brewers have the lead. Ryan Braun will lead off as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Logan Schaefer, a 2-run home run in the 5th, followed a leadoff walk. Braun singled his first time up. He ripped one into the gap in right center. Cingrani's only given up 3 hits, 2 singles and the Schaefer homer. 8 strikeouts thus far. Braun hitting .306 after his base hit in the first. 1 for 2 today. He's at .306 with 9 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Braun playing in his 58th game of the season. He missed 31 with the injury to his right thumb. Into right, pretty well hit. Back is Jay Bruce with room to make the play. Braun gave it a scare, but ends up as a long, loud out for Braun, who is 1 for 3 tonight, and 1 gone for Cingrani in the 6th.
Timing doesn't seem to be too off for Ryan, does it? Kind of hitter to be able to do that after missing a month. And talking to Ryan before the game, he's using a very thin pad, you know, around the bat. He's taping his bat. He's got a pad up on the top where that thumb will rest on the bat, and it doesn't seem to be bothering him too much.
Gomez is 0 for 2 tonight. Almost hit him. Just down on the label enough. If he centers it up just a couple of inches toward the barrel of that bat, it's long gone. And that's why they call it a game of inches. That's the art of pitching. And trying to stay off that sweet spot of the bat.
And sometimes when you're Ryan Braun, you don't have to put it on the sweet spot to knock it out of here, particularly in this ballpark.
Braun was saying that the vibration of the bat off the end of the bat was causing more problems on that thumb than when he got jammed. That nerve issue, and it ended up getting inflamed, and chance it could have been a chronic injury for Braun, which is why he sat down for a month. As Gomez pops out, 4 out, number 2.
That bat gets out higher on the thumb when you're out on the end as opposed to down on the handle, and that's why it was causing him problems with that nerve that runs up the side of the hand, the thumb, and you know, not the typical bone bruise that a lot of hitters will get.
Here's Sean Halton with 2 away. Speaking of jammed, he took one right off the knuckles in the 4th inning. A pop up that the pitcher Cingrani made, it over the shoulder catch behind the mound. Curveball in there for a strike. A rare breaking ball from Cingrani, and mostly fastballs tonight. Another pop up, long run. And Joey Votto over the shoulder. Terrific play by the Gold Glove first baseman. It's twice Alt has been retired with over the shoulder catches. That was very well done. Is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Miller Lite. It's not just a good time, it's Miller time. Tuesday night in Brewtown tonight. Beautiful night here. And a great setting on the riverfront. Great setting here at Miller Park, just a few miles from there. So Ryan Braun is out. Jeff Bianchi will take over in left field.
All part of the plan that Ryan Braun and the Brewers have put together. Play a few innings, sit down, and I think one of the things that messed everything up tonight was that injury to Aoki. Now he's forced to use Bianchi in left, who hasn't played out there that often. With a 2-0 lead, you prefer to be able to strengthen your defense and not weaken it.
Brandon Phillips will lead off. The Reds being shut out on a one-hitter. The first hitter that Peralta faced tonight, Shin-Soo Choo, had a single. That's been it. 4 strikeouts for Peralta. He's had his troubles with walks tonight. He's walked 3 and hit a batter. But he's retired 7 straight as he opens up the 7th inning. Pitch count in great shape. And a pop-up from Phillips. Halton is over with room. Out number 1.
He's starting to throw the slider, for strikes and be effective with the breaking pitch. Early in the game, had a tough time with it. Actually, the only base hit he allowed was on a slider to Choo in the first inning.
Here's Jay Bruce. Strike 1 from Peralta. Took a little off that one.
Another one.
Bruce walked in the 4th. Big swing and a miss. That was a key inning for the Reds. They had a runner on, Brandon Phillips, with 1 out, and Bruce ahead in the count at the plate. Peralta picked off Brandon Phillips, and then Bruce walked. Peralta would end up picking up a strikeout to end the inning.
Let me just see how much confidence Peralta has. He and Maldonado on the same page. Peralta not venturing too far from that pitching rubber, working very quickly, and that's what you like to see.
1-2 down in the dirt, right where Maldonado wanted it.
Yeah, he pointed out there, didn't he? Part of that nonverbal communication between the two. Called the sign, pointed to the dirt in front of home plate, saying, "Put it there for me," and he did.
and then applauds the effort. It's just so much to the body language of Maldonado when he's an artist behind the plate, the way he does this. He's full emotions. Down in front of the plate, he says, and that means he's got to be ready to block it in case Bruce swings. Got him on the attack, Willie Peralta. A strikeout of Jay Bruce, second time he's punched him out, and number 5 tonight.
He had 5 strikeouts, a number of ground ball outs. He's had the benefit of a double play ball. That was in the first inning, and only 3 fly ball outs. The Brewers infield has backed him up nicely. He's got a pick off of Brandon Phillips, and just seems to be in control of what he wants to do out there tonight. Working quickly with a lot of confidence, and gets that one right by Bruce. Second time he struck out Jay Bruce tonight.
Fly ball left field. Bianchi is over. Can't get it. And Robinson around the bags. That one goes all the way around. And Bianchi now fumbles it. They're going to send the runner. Segura's throw to the plate. Got a chance. The tag. Oh, home. The Brewers cut down Robinson. Bianchi, Segura, Maldonado.
How about this arm right here? Wow.
Inning ends at home plate. Shutout still intact.
Play to end the 7th. Willie Peralta's cruising through a 2-hit shutout. No need for the heroics of Carlos Gomez just yet, robbing a home run. Tonight on our AT&T Twitter poll, we were asking Brewers fans to weigh in with, besides Carlos Gomez, who is the best home run robbing outfielder? Ken Griffey Jr. took 47% of the vote. Torrey Hunter close behind him at 23%. There are 35 gold gloves between the 4 men you see there. And BA and Rock, could Carlos Gomez be one for the Brewers?
Yeah, and he has a great chance to win a Gold Glove. Obviously, we think he should be the Gold Glove Award winner, and it would be first in a long, long time for a position player for the Milwaukee Brewers to win a Gold Glove. And an outfielder at that. Gomez certainly has a shot to do it. We'll dive into that play as we continue on in this inning. Jeff Bianchi, who has played all but 2 1/3 innings in the major leagues in left field, got eaten up by the wall. He was trying to make a catcher at least stop it on a hop. It went all the way around, and Robinson,
that's a good
piano
risk to take.
jumping on the back.
Well, that's a good risk to take. I mean, 2 outs, you know, you don't mind making the 3rd out at home plate. And the way Peralta's been throwing, the Cincinnati Reds, not certain that they were going to be able to, get another base hit. Chris Spire, the third base coach, sending him around. And what a job by Gene Segura. First of all, it's Jeff Bianchi hitting the cutoff man Segura, and then Segura all in one motion, able to get a good throw, accurate throw off to Maldonado.
Yeah, Segura certainly closed the gap. That's a long trek around the base paths as Betancourt strikes out. Foul tip into the mitt of Hannigan. So this one's in our shining moment, brought to you by the Marshfield Clinic.
It didn't start out all that well. Bianchi having a tough time with it. We talked about weakening the defense with Braun out of the lineup. Aoki hurt. And that bobble right there had Chris Spire send Robinson, but Gene Segura able to get the throw to home plate, and Maldonado tags him out. Shutout still intact. I'd say that was a heck of a throw by Bianchi at the wall, all the way in on a fly to Segura, who made a good throw to home plate.
Bianchi is a shortstop by trade who has just been converted to a utility infielder over the last couple of years, and then he's added outfield to that mix beginning last season. I'm not sure what he could have done about the odd bounce. It looked like it hit the railing up there, up above the padding.
Understanding the situation with 2 outs, nobody on, a ball down, and you play it safe. You don't go so close to the wall, and you make sure that Robinson stays at second base. But it worked out pretty well. He made up for it with a good throw into Segura, and they got the final out.
That was just the second hit by the Reds tonight. 2-hit shutout for Peralta with 4 strikeouts.
A lot of Brewers playing positions for the first time in their careers this year. Been amazing.
One and 2 to Maldonado. Brewer catcher having a great day behind the plate. Anytime you're navigating a pitcher through a game like this, you feel totally into the game regardless of what you do at the plate. There's a called strike 3. Got him again. Second time he's rung him up with the fastball. Robinson can really run, and a long way around the base paths, especially when you're thinking about third base is going to be the finish line for you until you see the third base coach trying to get rid of his helmet, hits his foot, and right about there the piano is too heavy to carry.
Yeah. Did he head first slide or just fall down?
Yeah, good point.
But a good piece of hitting by Robinson, who pinch hit last night in the 9th inning and walked. He was on base when Votto hit that ball to center.
Logan Schaefer with 2 outs. Pulls that one on the ground to Votto. Gobbles it up, and that will do it for the Brewers in the 7th. A tight one here at Miller Park. Peralta pitching a gem. Brewers lead 2-0. Toyota. Brewers have the lead on a Logan Schaefer home run. First big league home run for Schaefer of his career, and it gave the Brewers a quick 2 spot, and that's all that Peralta has needed to this point. 7 innings, just 2 hits, working on a shutout with 4 strikeouts. He has been dynamite tonight, Willie Peralta, and a lot of outs on the ground for Peralta.
And not too many baseballs hit all that hard tonight. You know, the outs that he's got in the air, lazy fly balls, pop-ups to the infield, and has managed his pitch count extremely well so far. He's working into the 8th inning. This is uncharted territory for Willie Peralta this year.
His best outing of the year came against the Braves 3 starts ago. He went 7 shutout on June 21st here at Miller Park. Just a 2-hitter. He went 8 innings last year against the Mets in September. That's his longest outing of his career. So his pitch count right now is at 80. Double barrel action in the bullpen. But if Peralta can stay on the attack, he not only has a chance to get through 8, he's got a chance to finish this game. Brewers have not had a complete game since 2011, April of 2011. Hanahan leads off, and Peralta deals strike 1.
81st pitch of the night for Willie in the 8th inning.
Hanahan, little jam shot pop up, that's going to fall for a base hit.
Hey, come out to Miller Park as your Brewers host the Miami Marlins on Friday, July 19th through Sunday the 21st. For tickets, call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com.
Here's Ryan Hanigan now with a base runner at first. Brewers have a double play tonight. It was a soft line drive out by Kozar, turned into a double play. That erased the first inning single by Chu. Peralta didn't give up a hit after that first inning hit by Chu until the 7th inning. And prior to that triple by Robinson, Peralta had retired 9 straight from the 4th to the 7th. He'd love a ground ball here. Hanigan playing with that injured hand. Taking a big swing. That got a good chunk of Maldonado.
Got him on the foot. My good downward action on that fastball from Willie. Still has good movement. Velocity still very good. 94, 95, right on the toe.
Wow.
Right underneath the foot guard and right off the end of the toe. Ouch.
Man.
That's why you don't see too many catchers with a lot of infield hits.
Yeah, good point.
Try running to first base after that.
Oof. Well, Peralta has Hanigan 0-2. Pitcher spot due up next. Peralta will see a pinch hitter next. Looks like Xavier Paul is ready to hit. Got him. Peralta with a breaking ball for a strikeout. Number 5 for Willie Peralta.
It took him a while, but he's found the slider. Last couple of innings, he's thrown some good ones. Then you see the release going down and away from Hanigan and just catches the bottom of the strike zone. Yep, just high enough.
Great look at it there. So the pinch hitter is Xavier Paul, who is 6 for 17 this year as a pinch hitter, has a couple of home runs and 7 RBIs.
All 3 pinch hitters for the Reds last night reached base, 2 hits and a walk.
It's been a strength of their club this year.
Only Atlanta Braves have a better batting average from their pinch hitters this year.
Here's Sam LeCure, the Reds reliever in the bullpen. Cingrani is out, 7 innings, struck out 10, but is on the hook for the loss right now, despite giving up just 2 runs. Oh, and 1 to Paul, outside. Interesting moment there, Rock, with the pinch hitter coming up. Normally, and I can't remember a time with a pinch hitter coming up that Rick Kranitz didn't come out to the mound. But he must feel like Maldonado and Peralta are in such sync right now. Maldonado immediately went to the mound, and Kranitz didn't have to make that trip.
Don't want to disrupt his rhythm. Sometimes your best decision is a non-decision. You sit in that dugout and let these guys do their work.
That's a subtle thing, but certainly a vote of confidence for 2 young players, a young battery, both in their first full seasons in the big leagues. And just letting them handle it. Peralta's been very economical tonight.
Yeah, a couple of single pitch innings. Single digit pitch innings, I should say.
Brewers are set up to turn 2. Paul at the plate, the pinch hitter. And a swing and a miss. 2-2 the count. The ball's just diving in the strike zone.
Yeah, some of the reason why Rick Kranitz didn't feel as though he needed to go out there. I mean, got good stuff. Let him do his thing. Don't worry too much about what the hitter can't hit. You do what you've been doing well.
Willie ready for a 2-2. And a foul out of play late on a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Peralta giving a great start, setting up tomorrow for Johnny Hellwig. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Mike Leake, Johnny Hellwig will match up. Day game tomorrow. And we'll see if Hellwig can find his way in the big leagues. He'll get another chance.
Yeah, tough lineup. This Reds team can bang, but the Brewers have been able to handle him so far in this series.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Paul, the pinch hitter. He didn't bite. 3-2 now. Well, now you wonder if Dusty Baker will put Hanahan on the move. He does not run well.
Yeah, Paul doesn't strike out too much. He puts the ball in play. Maybe send him to stay out of the double play, but you're right. Hanahan and the Reds in general don't run much.
Full count. Runner stays put. Bouncing ball. Chance to turn it. Weeks. Segura in time for 2. 4-6-3. Willie Peralta having the best game of his career. He has a chance to finish this one off tonight. Pitcher's best friend
so far because he's pitching a shutout through 8 innings, and he only has 93 pitches. And Davey, when a pitcher wants everything to go right, falling into place, Willie Peralta is the one who's capable of doing that. What's he doing so well?
Well, what he's doing well, he's commanding all of his pitches. You know, he's got a good live fastball. He's been sinking it. He's been, you know, one of the good thing, partner, early outs. He's, you know, his pitch count is outstanding. Been getting a lot of early outs.
All right, we've got the instructional coming up after the ball game. Garth Orge joins Davey Nelson. They're going to talk about taking some infield and getting that defense all set. Brewers leading this one right now, and Willie Peralta's got a gem going. We'll see if the Brewers can pad the lead right now, Brian.
Yeah, and Willie Peralta is going to be allowed to hit here, which is significant because that tells you Ron Renicky is ready to roll him back on the mound in the 9th inning with a chance to finish this ball game.
Keep it going. Why not, right? Sam LeCure on for the 34th time this year. Great numbers for LeCure. A .216 earned run average. First appearance for LeCure in the series.
Sangrani went 7. Outpitched by Peralta, although Sangrani had a great night on the mound. 7 innings, 2 runs allowed, 10 strikeouts. But no run support. Willie Peralta has shut the Reds down through the first 8 innings. He will deal with the top of the order coming up. Shin-Soo Choo, Zach Cozart, Joey Votto. If anybody gets on, Brandon Phillips would hit. Brewers could use a couple of runs here. One and two, LeCure, and Peralta pops it up, slicing into foul territory, and Votto makes another nice catch for the first out. Well, had a big moment tonight. Logan Schaefer with a first. His first home run in the big leagues comes from the left-hander Sangrani. Powerball home run number 1. That was a 2-run home run in the 5th inning. And that's all the runs the Brewers have needed at this point. He got the silent treatment in the dugout.
Except for Johnny Nair and his hitting coach. His hitting coach can't do that to him.
Plenty of love, just late love from that Brewer bench.
Better late than never, right?
Amen. Top of the order, here's Weeks. If you're just picking us up, Logan Schaefer was inserted into the lineup as a last-minute addition. Nori Aoki injured, a left elbow injury, knocked him out of the starting lineup. That moved Weeks into the leadoff spot, and it put Logan Schaefer in right field. So on a night when he wasn't supposed to play, he delivers his first big league home run, and it could be the home run that sends the Brewers to victory with 3 more defensive outs.
Unlikely heroes, you know, a lot of times you never know who it's going to be. Schaefer with a big home run. Bianchi with a great throw into the infield after having a rough time in the corner and left. He was able to get that out.
Bouncing ball, that's fair down the left field line. Extra bases for Ricky Weeks. It's a 1-out double, his first hit of the night. And that's a big run in scoring position for Milwaukee here in the 8th.
Yeah, such a difference with a 3-run lead as opposed to 2. You know, opposition can't bunt, they can't, you know, advance runners. There's a slider grip from Sam LeCure, and that one stays right down the heart of the plate, and Ricky able to pull it down the line.
So Weeks at second with a double. And here is Gene Segura now. Segura has a walk tonight. He walked in the first inning. He's 0 for 2. Pickoff play at second. Weeks is just back. Close play.
Phillips takes off. Good throw by LeCure. A little bit lower. He might have had Weeks. That ball's right on the bag. Ricky's out.
Both teams understanding how important that run could be in this game. No balls to strike on Segura. Down in the dirt. Good play back there from Hannigan. Count evens at 1-1.
Yeah, Segura likes to shoot that hole between first and second. The Reds are giving him a lot of room up there. Phillips holding Ricky close. He's shaded up the middle.
Got Bianchi on deck. Came in for Braun. And a bouncer to the right side. Phillips will make the play. Out number 2. Weeks advances to third base as we check in with Sophia.
BA every Friday, high school and college students can purchase select tickets at a special savings courtesy of Time Warner Cable. Some restrictions apply. Visit brewers.com/students.
All right, Sophia, thanks. 2 outs, and here is Jeff Bianchi. Ryan Braun started tonight's game. And after missing 31 games, not going on a minor league rehab, there was no thought that Braun would play all 9 innings tonight. After his third at bat, he was taken out. That was the plan all along. So Bianchi, who's played in just 2 games in left field, is in that spot. And he drives one to right. Bruce is over to make the play. Inning over. And we're headed to the 9th. Willie Peralta, he has a chance to finish this one off. 2-0 Brewers. They lead the Reds. Schaefer with a 2-run shot, standing up tall.
FoxSportsWisconsin.com, fans can read about Ron Renneke trying to maintain his even keel personality. And, you know, the way things are going tomorrow, they may be writing about Willie Peralta. Before today's game, Ron Renneke saying he has loved the maturation he's seen from Willie, saying it's his slider that can determine how deep he can go into a game, whether it's 5 innings or 7 innings. He loves how well he's managing a game. We'll see how he does here in the 9th, guys.
Yeah, this is a big one, and certainly a big moment. Ron Renneke, not a big fan of the complete game, thinks it has lasting effects after the effort, but the way Peralta is throwing today, he is in complete control. His pitch count is in great shape at 93, and he's your best option. And on the first pitch, Chu bounces out to second base. 1 gone in the 9th.
And that's the story for Willie the entire day. Keeping the ball on the ground, keeping it in the infield. You can't get hurt too badly when you do that.
This is officially Peralta's longest outing in his big league career. Brewers have not had a complete game since April 5th of 2011. Gallardo went the distance against the Atlanta Braves. That was after the Brewers started the season 0-4. That was Ron Renneke's first career managerial win.
And that was a 1-0 shutout for Giovanni.
Swing and a miss. Cozart. 1 ball, 1 strike. Wow, 20 out of 29. Peralta has been ahead in the count. 1-2. A 2-run home run by Logan Schaefer in the 5th, the only scoring tonight. Brewers made a great play at home plate on a relay to cut down a potential Reds run. Right off the end of the bat, and the count remains at 1 ball and 2 strikes.
And really hasn't found that slider until the last 3 innings. And it's been a good pitch for him to finish this one off.
The 1-2. Got him. Peralta with the slider strikes out Cozart. His 6th strikeout, and now 2 gone. And an out away from a shutout.
There's the slider grip and puts it in a perfect spot down and away out of the strike zone, and Cozart chases it.
Gonna have to go through Joey Votto. Made the last out last night. That dramatic catch by Gomez. And Peralta trying to put him in the books to finish this one off tonight. Strike 1. Most games without a complete game, the Brewers at the top of the list by a long shot. Peralta can end that tonight. Gallardo had the last one 2 years ago. Strike 2.
He still has velocity behind his fastball. 95 that last pitch.
Peralta and Maldonado have been in sync all night. Like something got him in the eye just as he was ready to get into his motion. Wisely backs off. Look at right there, his right eye. This gives you an idea of his poise, though. He's under control. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. It's that power fastball in on the hands of Votto.
97.
His best fastball of the night.
In the 9th inning, he's pumped up.
And it'll go full. One of the toughest at-bats in all of baseball when you match up against Joey Votto. Leads the league in on-base percentage and walks, former MVP. He does not go down easily. The payoff pitch. And he lost him. Ball 4. Votto draws the walk. That's going to bring the tying run to the plate now. Bullpen is quiet for Ron Renicky.
K-Rod's been up. He's ready to go. Not throwing, which means he's ready to come in if need be. One more base runner. I think you're going to see K-Rod. Can't put Willie in a position to lose.
From one all-star starter to another here. Votto to Phillips. Representing the tying run. 2-0 Brewers, 9th inning. And a swing and a miss. Perfect pitch in that spot.
And he liked to ambush the fastball and gave him the slider. Going for the down.
And that skips away from Maldonado. That'll be a wild pitch. And Votto advances. The only man that counts is this guy right here at the plate, representing the tying run.
First at bat for the Reds with a man in scoring position since the 3rd inning.
Cincinnati has not had 2 base runners on at the same time all night tonight. See what Peralta does here. 1-1. And he got it in on his hands at 96, and it's 1-2. And now Peralta in the driver's seat. Back on their feet at Miller Park. Still late, and the count at a ball and 2 strikes.
And behind the fastball, which means he's a little indecisive. Not sure he's going to get the slider or the heater, and need a good time to bounce that slider.
It's the most pitches Peralta has thrown in a game all year. It had been 108. He's at 111. Trying to finish off the shutout. Could be his last hitter regardless. Ready for a 1-2, and it is outside for a ball. 2-2 the count. Pretty good pitch and a good take by Phillips.
And the only slider breaking pitch that he's thrown to Phillips was that first pitch. Had that big swing, came up empty. See if he throws it here.
Peralta has the Reds down to their last strike. 2-2 to Brandon Phillips. And a bouncing ball up the middle. Segura. The throw to first in time, and Willie Peralta with his first career shutout. And how about the embrace? Maldonado and Peralta in perfect step together all night. And the Brewers beat the Reds back-to-back victories. First complete game for Milwaukee in over 2 years. And Peralta with his best effort as a big leaguer. What a performance.
Well, the streak of no complete games is over at over 400 for Milwaukee. Got to go back to 2011. We talk about a guy, a pitcher and a catcher that were on the same page all night. It was Martin Maldonado and Willie Peralta. Peralta has been throwing the baseball extremely well now. 3 of his last 4 starts. And picks up a big win here tonight for the Brewers, who take the series now against the Cincinnati Reds.
Reds never had multiple base runners on in an inning. Peralta finishing with 6 strikeouts, some outstanding defense behind him. Had a big pickoff of Brandon Phillips.
And just one ground ball after another. And he really didn't have much of a slider until about the 7th inning. And that's when that thing came into play. Got some big outs with the slider, and he was able to keep his velocity up all night long. I mean, he threw a 97-mile-per-hour fastball in the 9th inning. So Willie Peralta coming up big for Ron Renneke, who allows him to go out for the 9th inning.
11 ground ball outs. How about we send it down to Sophia with pitcher and catcher on this historic night.
Thanks, B.A. Willie, congratulations. The first Brewers pitcher to throw a complete game since Giovanni Gallardo did it in 2011. At what point did you know you were dialed in tonight?
I know. First of all, thank you. I'm very excited, man. And I already know on the 5th inning. And, you know, I just followed this guy right here. He called great game. I just try to, you know, execute the pitcher. He put me down there, and there's a result for today. I'm very excited. This is my first time ever, even in minor league, you know.
What was working for you tonight to induce so many ground ball outs and get some quick innings?
I think I just keep the fastball down the zone with mix with a good changeup. I don't have my slider early on it, and then I just get to feel it, and I start flipping for a strike, and then, so like I said, just mix with fastball changeup and keep it down the zone.
With some tough early outings for you this season, how rewarding is it to head into the All-Star break with a complete game shutout like this one?
You know, it's pretty excited. It's a tough year for me, but in the last 3 or 4 starts that I've been pitching much better. And there's a good start for, you know, the end of this break. I think I'm going to be better in the second half.
All right, thanks, Willie. And Maldi, you have caught this guy since the minor leagues all the way up here to the majors. At what point did you know he was dialed in?
I think by the 5th inning. The 1st inning was doing everything for strike. We got a great sinker today. That's why a lot of ground balls.
A great embrace for you guys here out at the mound. What did you tell him after the game was done?
I told him it's the first time his mom here watching him pitch. I think that's a good gift for his mom.
First time for your mom?
Yeah, first time. I'm dedicated to her. I love you, Mom. Te amo, Mommy.
A great night here for the Brewers, Craig. Willie Peralta, the first one to get it done since 2011. That is a streak of over 400 games that has snapped for the Brewers.
All right, great stuff, Sophia. A Mother's Day in July. You got to love it for Willie Peralta. There she is. And we've got plenty more coming up. Brewers Live postgame on the way. That's just the beginning of how Willie Peralta did tonight. We'll break it all down coming up next on Fox Sports Wisconsin.